Hello, everyone. Welcome to Creativity. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I am here tonight to do a little crafting with you. I am so excited to be here and not be working on Christmas cards. As you have seen my post, I have been very busy within the last couple of months of Christmas cards. So we have been really pushing out cards, and we got them done. So I'm excited about that. Hello, welcome. Thank you for coming in. I do apologize for being late. We have been hello, Autumn. We have been working on getting our Christmas shopping done. I am bad. Today was the very first day that I started Christmas shopping. So it's been a little hairy today. But I am here tonight in our craft studio to have a little crafting time, and we are stepping away from Christmas, and we are going to be doing birthday cards. Because I don't know about you, but come January, those January birthdays really sneak up on me. Before I know it, their birthday's done past, and then I'm making a happy belated birthday. So I decided tonight's free with purchase class, we are going to be doing birthday cards using the branching out bundle, which happens to be on the last chance list. So that means last chance list means when they are gone, they are gone. So if you are interested in this bundle, you need to go place your order now, because when the items are sold out, they will be gone, because they are considered retired once they're gone off of that last chance list. I am trying to get my desktop pulled up so I can make sure I am seeing everything correctly before we dive in. I do have four projects. There we go. I do have 4 projects ready to go for us tonight. I am excited about it. So tonight's class is free with the purchase class, meaning you will get all 4 of the projects that we make tonight, minus the stamping. I do all the die cutting, all the embossing pieces, but when it comes to the stamping, I'm not able to stamp images. So if you want it to look exactly like the project that I do, you will need to purchase these kits, the stamp sets, because I can't do that, or you can supplement it with whatever you do have. All right, guys, just a little update before I flip the camera and get started. Tomorrow, make sure you're on my email list tonight, because before I shut down tonight, I will be sending out our mystery stamping. Tomorrow is the 4th Monday. Is that right? Isn't tomorrow the 4th Monday of the month? Let's look at my calendar real quick. Yes, tomorrow is the 4th Monday, and that means we have our mystery stamping. So tonight I will be sending out the measurements for mystery stamping, so you will have time to prep and get all your supplies cut. Now, mystery stamping is just a fun thing to where we come together. I will come on live at 8 o'clock tomorrow, and we will do our stamping and making our mystery stamping card. And then at the end, you will post your project so we can all share what we are doing. But it is using supplies that you currently have, okay? So make sure you're on my email list today so you get that. So if you're not on my email list and you want the mystery stamping, make sure you go click that link in this video and do that. And then on Wednesday, I will come live as my normal coffee and a card. And then after that, I will not be back on social media until Sunday, December the 28th. I will be taking a few days off from social media and my stamping business because of Christmas. I want to be able to be with my family and be able to enjoy the services of being with friends and family during the season of Christmas. Plus, on Wednesday night, I have church, so going to candlelight service for that. So I will not be back on social media from Wednesday morning when I do coffee and card. I won't be back until Sunday, but we will have a Facebook Live on Sunday evening, okay? I'm not going to take that much time off, but I do want to be with my family. And then that Monday, December the 29th, we have our craft-along. So if you got your kit, if you pre-ordered your kit, they will go in the mail on Wednesday morning. And then I will probably do 2-day shipping because of the holiday to make sure everybody gets those in time for our craft-along on Monday. All right. And then starting after that, I've got January schedule coming out. Be on the lookout for that. Be on the email list because we have all kinds of fun things going on in January. We are going to have a new catalog launch. We have a winter retreat going on. We have our creativity club going on. We have in-person card classes. So a lot is going to be happening in January. So join that email to get on there. All right, guys, I think we are ready to go. I need to cut on some lights. I didn't realize my video lights were not on. So give me 1 second. Let me run around so I don't unplug that. And then we're going to dive right into our projects. So let's do this real quick. I thought I had them on, but it was mighty dark. And then my overhead lights went out today, so we've got to get all those replaced as well. All right, so hopefully we're going to have enough light. So let's dive in here and get started. Get my dies on the table here. And then we're going to move this over. All right, let's do this. Let's flip our camera and see what we've got on our desktop. It is a hot mess, I can promise you that. So we're going to zoom in so you don't see the mess. We have a lot going on. All right. I am just thankful that I am in my studio and out of shopping mode. Hopefully I have everything purchased. I am not sure. There's a few things we still got to get, but I got my 3 grandchildren's Christmas taken care of today. So they are the most important ones out of my shopping list. So I am okay. Now if just making sure Amazon comes through for me will be even better. Because I ordered most of it through Amazon. And I did go pick up a few things today. But I got my 3 grands gifts. So that's what counts. My children's gifts, they're adults. They can, if they don't get here in time, they will just have to understand. But grandkids is a whole different ball game. All right, let's get into our project here. So we are using the Branching Out bundle, and I have used this before, but tonight, like I said, I wanted to come in and do some birthday cards because that January birthday list creeps up on me. And sometimes I do miss dates in January. So I am trying to get a head start and getting a stack of birthday cards ready to go. So all I got to do is just push it out as soon as I see that I got a birthday. All right. Hello. Welcome. Thank y'all for being here. So we are doing Birthday Bash using the Branching Out bundle. Now, let me get our projects today and let you see what we are working with. And I don't have them in my envelope, so just give me 1 second because I don't want to dump any pieces because that would be a mess. All right, so let's see. We're going to move this out of the way so you can see what we're doing. Here are the 4 cards that we will be using tonight. So here is one. These are the 4 projects that we're going to be doing. Here is another one. And this one is inside as well. All right. And then we have the 3rd card coming out is this one here. And then we have the 4th card. Now, let me make sure, zoom out so everything is showing correctly. So these are the 4 cards that we are doing tonight. They're all birthday related. And this is my free with a purchase class. So a minimum of a $45 order. And you get all of the supplies that you need to make these cards for free. Okay. So let's do this. We're going to take all of these and move them around. And then we're going to get started with our projects. Okay, we're going to set them right up there so I don't get those mixed up. So this is going to be our first card. Let's dive in and do this card first. So for this one, we have our little label here. This is cut out of the nested dies. And then we have Balmy Blue, and this is cut out from the dies branching out, and it's this die right here. And then I have 2 of the sprigs out of this bundle, and this is out of the what color? This is out of Summer Splash. All right. And then we have a piece of basic white cardstock that I have used the 3D brick embossing folder. So you can see that I have embossed this. And then we have our thick basic white cardstock here as well. All right. So we're going to take this and we're going to fold it in half. We're going to take our bone folder. Hopefully I have that handy. Let's see. I had to clean off my desk real quick so I could go live. Let's see. Here's our bone folder. So we're going to take our bone folder and go across there and get that crease in there. All right. Now, before we go any further, I took our Misty Moonlight ink, and I opened this up, and we have our small, oh goodness, we have our small blending brush. And what I did is, because January is kind of snowy, wintry type, I wanted this to be a little on the blue side. So I took the blending brush and I rubbed it into the Misty Moonlight. Now, I want to have a piece of scrap paper because I'm going to rub some of it off before I start. And I'm gently going to rub it across the embossed folder. I have already did the embossing. Now, if you press hard, you're going to get a deeper blue in there. So the more pressure you put, the more ink you're going to have on your cardstock. So I just wanted it to be very light in the background. And in some places it is getting dark, and that's okay. All right, so we got that. That is all we're going to do with that. Now, going to, let's stamp our sentiment. And this is going to be Happy Birthday. And we are using the Misty Moonlight ink. So let me clean this off real quick. Make sure I don't have any other color in there. All right. Let me get my piercing pad and let's use that. We're going to take and tap it into our Misty Moonlight. And then we're going to just stamp right in the center of this. And the sentiment says, happiest birthday wishes. And this is coming out of the branching out set. Okay. All right. So now we're ready to assemble our project. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our sprigs here. And we're going to just kind of lay them wherever on your paper that you want them, onto your layout. Get that little piece out. There we go. All right, so I'm going to use our liquid glue. Again, we do sell adhesive sheets, so if I was wise, I would have used them, but I always forget. And I remember it after I go live, and then I was like, I could have used that. All right, so we're going to just gently put, oh, that's way too much. We're going to gently put a little bit of glue here. Don't overdo your glue, because then your project's going to be very sticky, and you don't want that. So you just line it up wherever you want it, okay? All right, so we're going to do the same thing with this sprig. All right, come on. I'm gently just putting a little bit in here. And while I'm doing this, just so you know, the January club, Creativity Club, is going to be something featuring Valentine's, but all the projects will not be Valentine projects. Okay, I don't know. In the next day or two, I will know what set we're going to be using. So I will probably announce that Sunday in the Facebook Live what bundle we're going to use. But it's going to relate to Valentine's, but not all Valentine cards. All right, so we're going to take this and we're going to cut this in half. So we've got two branches, okay? And then again, we're going to just dab on just a little bit of glue. You don't want too much, but you got to have enough to keep it on the project, because that's the last thing you want, is to send a project and it fall apart. And then you're going to just kind of layer it somewhere within your card. They don't have a specific area. Okay, so we're going to just kind of stick it around however you want to do that. All right. And if you are hopping on late, just make sure you go back and watch the beginning, because I did do some announcements that I want to make sure everybody has. And also, if you like this video, if you would please share, like, and follow my page. And if you're watching this on YouTube, if you will subscribe to my page, I would greatly appreciate it, because that does help me grow. Sharing, liking, giving it thumbs up, all those things, it does help our business grow, and that is so exciting to me when that happens. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take some of the Misty Moonlight ribbon. We're going to take some of the Misty Moonlight ribbon, and we're going to take this and we're going to fold it down just like that. And then we're going to take our snips and snip it off. And just do whatever length you want. There is no certain amount. Okay? And then you're going to kind of twist it to be a bow, but not be a bow. And then we're going to just put some liquid glue on here. Not very much, but just a little to hold this down. Okay? And then this is going to kind of go crisscross over that. And then because it is liquid glue, you want to hold it down just a few seconds. All right, come on. I got the glue on my finger, so it's wanting to stick to my fingers and not to the paper. Okay, so now we're going to take our sentiment here and we're going to put that on with dimensionals. That's right. You know, we cannot do cards without dimensionals. So, does everybody have Christmas plans? Do y'all get together with family and all that good stuff? I am supposed to have Christmas with my niece and my great niece and her husband and my children and everything Christmas Eve. But my niece called me today and told me that my great niece has the flu. So we are having to move our Christmas to another day with her because the baby is sick. And I love my babies, but I don't want the germs. We're not going to share that kind of love. I love sharing love, but not that kind of love. So we will have a quiet Christmas Eve other than going to church and doing our candlelight service there. My children always goes with me on Christmas Eve, so I'm really excited about that. And then Christmas Day, we always do a brunch. And then, of course, the kids go to their significant others, family gatherings and things like that. So my husband and I has a kind of a quiet Christmas Day. Which is okay. It was hard at first to get used to it, but my babies are grown and I have to share. So that is kind of our Christmas. All right, so here is this card, and we're going to put that straight on like that. And then we're going to top it off with our embellishments. And I am using the frosted iridescent embellishments, which also is on the last chance list. So grab if you want these gorgeous things. So we're going to put that one there. We're going to use one of the big ones. And these are the Balmy Blues. So, and then we're going to use one of the lighter ones, the small ones, we're going to put right there. And then we're going to do one more small on the tag. And then I'm going to leave the inside of this one blank. All right, so there is card number 1. All right, so let's go over to card number 2. Let's see, which one's going to be card number 2. Let's do this one. Right here. Yeah. Let's do this one next. Card 2. All right. This one I am using the Berry Burst cardstock. And then we're going to take our foam folder and run across there. So we're going to use the Berry Burst. And then we have our basic white cardstock that goes on the inside. And then what I did is we have another piece of Berry Burst that has been embossed with the Beauty embossing folder. Let's see, do I have the name of it real quick? Oh, snaps. What is that called? Hold on, guys. Let me see if I can find it. I'm not finding my cover sheet. It is Petals of Beauty embossing folder. There it is. It is called Beautiful Pattern Embossing Folder. Oh, hey, Debbie. Sorry you were having a hard time, but thank you for the card compliment. All right, so this has been embossed, and then we have our Granny Apple Green cardstock that is cut out using the branching out dies. Okay, and then I have a piece of the basic white cardstock that's going to go right on there. And then we have our branches again. This time I've used the Mossy Meadow, the Smoky Slate, and then the little sprigs is out of Seafoam. What's that one called? Soft Seafoam. And I don't use that color very often, but I thought it blended very well with this card. All right, so let's dive in. And then we have our sentiment label out of the nested dies. Okay? So what we're going to do with this one, again, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take, let's move these pieces out of the way. We're going to take our basic white, and then we're going to stagger our branches on this one. Okay. And what I did is I just kind of laid them on here, and then I did the gluing. So I am just cutting this one in half. So I'm just kind of folding it to where it gives me my tip of where we're going to cut it. All right. And then we're going to kind of tuck this down in there. Similar to that. And then this one, we're going to kind of put right up this way. All right. And then we've got our little sprigs that we're going to kind of lay in here as well. All right. So we're going to take it and do just like that. Okay. And then you can kind of put them however you want them. And then what I'm going to do is I kind of lifted these up and I just put a dab of the glue on these stems. Because these are so thin, you got to be real careful of how much glue to use. Otherwise, you're going to get sticky all over the place. That's why I said those adhesive sheets that we sell would be fabulous for this. But your demo here keeps forgetting when she's prepping that we have those. I forget all the time. I guess I need to actually pull them out of where I got them stored and store them on my workspace. Or store them on my die cut station. That's probably where I should do it. Store them on the die cut station. And that way they're there all the time in my face. All right, so there is that. Then if you didn't want it to kind of tippy, I think we might ought to put just a little bit. I was going to say if you don't want to have them all glued down, you don't have to. But I think this one, ooh, I think this is wobbling just a little too much not to. So since that is the liquid glue and I don't want it sticking to my fingers, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to press those down with my bone folder, and that way they're not sticking everywhere. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we are going to hook it on to our Granny Apple Green. Okay, and this goes just like this onto the Granny Apple Green. Now, we are going to emboss our happy birthday for this one. So let me make sure I got this cleaned off. All right, and then we're going to take our stamp and take it into our Versamark. But before we do that, we need to run our buddy over here. That takes the static out so your loose powder don't stick to your cardstock. I'm going to stamp down. We're going to get our happy birthday on there. Uh-oh, I got the wrong color in my tray. Let me dump this. All right, so I have this tray for my embossing powder, so I can always dump it back in my tray when I get done. We're going to take our basic white and we're going to sprinkle all over this. And I like to do it a couple of times. That way I know I've got it really good and secured. And then we're going to take that extra off. All right. Now I've got to run my heat gun. So give me 1 second. It's going to sound like a hairdryer. Let me move that powder out of the way. And see it changing colors? That's how you know when you're heat embossing that it's ready. Once it becomes a solid color. Okay. Now, we are going to use some dimensionals for this to put this on. Oh, thanks, Debbie. I was experimenting. I wasn't quite sure about the colors, but then after I put it on there, it really popped. So I was like, let's shoot for it. Okay, so here we go. Now we're going to cover up all those little stems with our sentiment, and that way you never see that down in there. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our linen thread and we're going to do a double knot. Now, if you don't do, not a double knot, we're going to do a double bow. If you're not a bow tying person, you don't have to put it on there because you've got embellishments, so it dresses the card up just fine. But if you want it extra, this is a way to make it extra. All right, let's do this. Let's cut this piece off as well. And then let's see if I can tie my bow. Okay, because sometimes these things just go crazy. All right, let's see if I got this. Perfect. All right. And the other thing I've got to get started working on is getting our new mini catalog out. I am so excited to share that mini catalog. There are so many good things in there, as well as things coming out on the online exclusive items. I am really struggling with what to get and what not to get. I want it all. That's how good it is. I want it all. But my paycheck says you got a budget, so I can't get it all, but I want it all. All right, let's see. All right, so we're going to put this on with our mini glue dots, and this is going to go right at the bottom. And then you can cut your tail pieces long or short. That's totally up to you. But I want to put it on my piece before I do that, before I cut it. So we're going to put this on with the dimensionals real quick. So, all right. So Debbie, I know you're up in the, you're upstate. Do y'all have snow yet? What are your temperatures? Because for us on Christmas Day here in Lexington, South Carolina, for Christmas Day it's supposed to be 75. I am just like, oh my goodness. I was hoping to have a little chilly Christmas, but 75 is a little warm. But we will take it. All right, so now here is this piece. So what we're going to do is this one I just glued straight down, but I want to show you the difference in what dimensionals do to a project. So we're going to pop this one up with dimensionals. And yes, I'm going to go just a little heavy here because I don't want it to sag in the middle. All right, and we're going to take our pick tool and we're going to pop all the backs off. So I have a lot to get done before I close down for the holiday. So the next couple of days, I am going to be super busy in the craft room. All right, so here we go. We're going to put that straight down like that. Now I did stamp on the inside of this card. Okay, I wasn't sure. Normally I leave them blank, but I was like, I stamped something on one of them and I couldn't remember which one it was. So for this, we are using the, for this one, we are using the Berry Burst ink. And I wrote to a very special someone. And that went straight in the center. All right. And I dropped something and I don't know what I dropped. Oh boy. I'll check the trash cans after the video. All right, so we got to put this on here as well. All right. So we're going to put our adhesive in here, and that's going to go straight on the inside of our card. So here is card number 2. And do you see the difference? This one is just glued straight down onto the card base. And this one has the dimensionals on it that lifts it up. All right, so that is card number 2. All right, let's move on now to, let's do card number 3. And let's do this here. This one is kind of a special card. So I am using the Autumn Toll Designer Series paper. I cut out with the Everyday Arch dies, this here and this. The background in here is the Specialty Snowflake paper. So then I stamped on it, and then I embossed some snowflakes in there. And then on the inside, when you open it up, you have our cloud cover cardstock inside with your sentiment stamped in there as well. So let's show you how to do this one here. So what I did is I took our specialty snowflake paper, and you can see this has all the little different snowflakes in it. And what I did with the coloring, I did the same thing with this as I did the first one. I took the Misty Moonlight ink pad, And then I took the blending brush, and I'm going to take this and I want to stamp. So we're going to run the blending brush over it. We're going to rub it on the extra page, and then we're going to casually rub it onto our snow paper. And that way it kind of gives it the blue look in the background. And again, the harder you press, the more blue you're going to get. And you just want to do it in a rotating circle motion. All right, then that's all we're going to do with that. We are going to take our stem. Oh, wow. Yeah. So you already got snow, Debbie. Wow. Yeah. It should be very nice in Florida because, like I said, Christmas Day here is supposed to be 75. And depending on what part of Florida you're going to, I am about 8 hours away from Florida. So you should have decent weather for sure. All right, so what I'm going to do now is take my Early Espresso ink and we're going to stamp directly onto our snowflake paper. So this is Early Espresso and I'm stamping our branch on here. All right, so we're going to start up at the top and go down. All right, and give it that good crisp fold there. And then we're going to take our shaded spruce ink and we are going to stamp our, we're going to stamp our little pine leaves on here. I'm going to call them the pine leaves because I'm not quite sure what they are, but I'm going to say they're the pine leaves. And I believe, nope, there it is. Okay. I was going to say, I believe that's what failed, but here it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of angle them in different directions. They do not have to be perfect because pine trees are not always perfect. Okay, so we're going to just take and just do a couple going all the way around. All right, so there is that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our little pine cone and we're going to stamp some pine cones in here. And we need to get our Early Espresso back out as well for the pine cones. All right, and these go up here. And then we're going to turn this into a winter card, and I'm going to, there we go. I'm going to show you how we're going to make this a winter card. Give me 1 second. All right, so we're going to leave it as that. So now this is how we're going to make this a winter card. We're going to take our embossing buddy. Let's go ahead and close this up. We're going to take our embossing buddy and we're going to run over this. Okay. Then what we're going to do is take our little flakes and make them look like snow. So we're going to tap this into the embossing powder. And then we're going to just stamp around, no order, but this will give it an extra look. Okay, and then we are going to sprinkle it with our embossing powder. And remember, be careful on how you touch this so you don't wipe off the embossing stuff. All right, let me get my tweezers here. And we're going to shake this around. All right. And then we're going to heat it up again. So give me 1 second. There it goes. Taking my heat embossing gun a few minutes to warm up. It's starting to do now, so you can see the white specks on it. Okay, so that gives it that extra look for snowflakes on there. Now, let's see what else we're gonna do with this. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our cloud cover cardstock and we're going to fold it in half. All right. And then this will be put on this side right here. Okay. So let's go ahead and put this down. And then we're going to put this down. And I do a lot of snow cards during the month of January and a little bit into February because I want some snow. But with my snow, I want it here today, maybe tomorrow, but then the third day it's all got to be gone. I don't like all that lingering snow. Because here in the South, we do not know how to drive in it very well. So I don't like all the accidents and all the damages that happen. Too scary for me. All right, so now we're going to take our Early Espresso card base and give it that good sweep. And then what we're going to do, I got that embossing powder everywhere. Sorry, guys. We're going to take our Designer Series paper here out of the Autumn Toll, which is also on the last chance list. So if you want any of this designing paper, you need to go get it because it is on that last chance list. All right, so now we're going to take our arch dies, and this is going to go straight in the center. So I got to run this through my emboss and cut machine. So give me 1 second while I go do that. All right, let's do it right there. And hold on, guys, I'm coming. When you do this, make sure you have your card open completely so you don't run it through and cut a hole in your cardstock all the way through. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of cloud cover and we're going to put glue on this side. And then this is going to fold and go right on the inside of your card base. And then when this folds over, you have your cloud in there. And you see what I did? I put that upside down, but it's okay. Either way is going to work. This one's coming down and this one's going up. So that's not a biggie. All right. Now we are ready to stamp our sentiment on our label. I cut it out using the cloud cover, and we are stamping happiest birthday wishes in early espresso. And now I need to find my stamp and clean it off because I know it's got embossing powder on it. All right, so we're going to take that and we're going to stamp it in early espresso, and that's going to go straight down on our cloud cover. And that is all we're doing there. And then we're going to put it on with our dimensionals. All right. And let's flip this little thing over. Oops. And you want to make sure you're putting them toward the bottom because the top half does hang in that window span. Yeah. Make sure I put it on the bottom there. So this is going to go right there. But you don't want your dimensional showing there. Plus, it will stick to your card base. So here is our card. All right. And then we need to get our frosted emboss pearls here, and we're going to use one of the big ones, and we're going to stick that up here. And then we're going to take two of the little ones. So we're going to put one over here, and then one goes onto our label. So let's put that one there. So there is card number 3. Beautiful. All right. So let's do our last card. So here is our last card. This one here, I am not sure about, but we did it, so we'll see how it goes. This is using our Gorgeous Grape, Pool Party, and our basic white. The ink color here is the Garden Green, and it is embossed in gold. Hello, Mom. And then on the inside, we're going to put a piece of basic white cardstock in there. So this one is a little different, but we are going to try it and see how it goes. So what I did with this one, this is our last card, but I took the Early Espresso and I took our stem and I took it to the top. Let me get it all inked up here. And this is going to kind of come across, and it goes from basically corner to corner, okay? And then we're going to kind of do it just like this. Straight down, straight up. Make sure you don't rock it. All right, then we're going to do our Garden Green, and this is for our sentiment that says, happiest birthday wishes. And the Garden Green's going to go straight up here at the top. All right. And then we also took the Garden Green and did our pine leaves, stems or whatever they are called. So let's clean that off and tap it into our Garden Green. And hopefully I don't make the mistake I did on my sample. I hit it with my block and got ink everywhere. So we're going to do this. We're going to take it and we're going to stamp it going in this direction. And then we're going to go this way. And then there. 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 All right, and then we did one right there. All right. we're going to quit while we're ahead because I got no green on my card like I did my sample. So we're going to leave that alone. Then we're going to pull out our pine cone again, and we're going to take our early espresso, and then we're going to put our little pine cones. We're going to put our little pine cones back around. And let's do one right here. All right, so that's our pine cones. Now what we're going to do is we're going to emboss this. This is so cool. So once I got it stamped, pine needles. That's it. Thanks, Mom. Thank you. So what I'm going to do now is take my Versamark and my little pine cone, and we are going to go back over, and I'm not going to do all of them, so we're only going to do 2, okay? Then what I'm going to do is same thing. I'm going to go over with a couple of the pine needles, and we are going to put some embossing powder on it, and it is so cool as to what it looks like. Okay, so there's one, and again, we're not going to do all of them, but I wanted to let it pop just a little bit, okay? Let's see, let's do this one here. And kind of feel we need a little more. And then we're going to do that one. And that's going to be it. Because I'll be done them all. And I said I wasn't going to do them all. All right, so let's put our white. Nope, this one we did our gold, not the white. Oh, but you know what? This would make it look wintry. So let's do this. Let's sprinkle the white on it. All right, give me a second. Let me tap off the extra. Okay. And I'm just kind of cleaning it up, getting all that extra off of it that I don't want. And it really got heavy. All right. I didn't want it to be that heavy, but it got really heavy. So we're going to just let it ride before I be done messed up. All right, heat emboss time. Oh, see, that pine cone got too much embossing powder. I knew for some reason it was heavy. All right, so now you're going to get to choose. Do you want the gold or do you want the white? So y'all going to have to choose in a second. Let's put the card together, and then y'all going to have to choose. I want to know which one you like the best. Do you want it gold or do you want it white? Let's see. Let's assemble it, and then you can tell me. So we're going to put this on our pool party. Just like that. And then we're going to put that directly onto our basic white. But I glued the first one, so this one we need to do a pop-up. So let's do that. Here, here, and here. And then down at the bottom. All right, guys, this is our last one, and we will wrap up. And don't forget, this is the free with the purchase class. So you can get all of these cards pre-cut for you when you place a minimum $45 order with me between now and Saturday. All right. And I am hoping everyone that is on my Christmas list that has ordered from me within the last year has received their Christmas card. And don't forget to hopefully you've gotten your card. All right. Now let's take this and let's just put it straight onto our gorgeous gray. But if you were a customer within the last year of mine, you should have received a Christmas card, or it's coming because I put all of them in the mail. All right, guys, here we go. Oh, no. We got to do our embellishments. Almost forgot those jokers. All right, so this time we're going to use the gorgeous gray. I don't tend to use this enough, and I really want to use this color more. So we're going to put one right there. Then let's get our baby, and let's stick it up there. And then one more baby, and let's say, want to do it right here. All right, there we go. Now, do you like the gold, which is this one, or do you like the white? You tell me, which one do you like, gold or white? I want to know your opinion. There is no right or wrong answer. I mean, they're both beautiful. But do you like the white or do you like the gold? While I clean up all this embossing powder, I have got a mess on my desk for sure. But I do love embossing. I need to do a class just on embossing cards. All right, so let's pull out. I'm trying to get this so I can move this sheet out of the way because it's got a lot of embossing powder on it. And it's getting everywhere. All right. So let's pull out our cards. So these are two of the cards that we did tonight. And then let's pull out our other cards. And here are our other cards that we did. So here is another one. And then I'm going to move this out of the way because then I need to get the four that we did in here. So here are our cards. And then we'll put the fifth card over here because this is the gold card versus the white. So there are our cards. All right, guys, that is it for tonight. I hope you have enjoyed. Oh, you like both of them? Okay. I'll have to look up where you're going, Debbie, and see how far I am from there. I'm not sure how far I'm from that point of Florida. So I will look that up and see. But I hope you have a wonderful time while you're there. I hope you have great weather. And I do hope you enjoy the warmth of the weather. But anyway, also, I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas in case you don't catch me on Wednesday. I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. But I will be live on Wednesday morning for Coffee and a Card. And then that will be it until our Sunday live because I need to take some time with my family. All right, so free with the purchase. You get all of this project pre-cut for you, but no stamping will be done because that is against Stampin' Up! Policy, but you will get all the cardstock and all the pieces that you can do these cards with, placing a minimum $45 order between now and Saturday, and you will get these cards. And this again was using the branching out bundle. So it's the stamp set and the dies. All right, that is it, guys. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you on Wednesday morning. Thank you.